Segment 1. The puppet flower bloomed. Would you dare to play this game of 123 wooden figures? If you move even slightly and get caught by the wooden figure's eyes, you'll be shot immediately. Witnessing the brutal scene, everyone was terrified and wanted to quit, but the game continued. The wooden figure's eyes targeted anyone who moved. Amid the chaos, only death awaited. Escaping was tougher than reaching the sky, as the sole exit was securely locked. A female thief snatched a man's wig and yanked it hard, but she held her temper, allowing him to escape. Big Zhuang, seeing this, was so scared he wet his diaper. Some contestants hid behind others to avoid being shot, and this tactic worked. As the front line fell, Big Zhuang advanced, only to be caught by a wounded person. Segment 2. The young man clung on, but he could no longer protect himself or others. Helpless, Big Zhuang chose to give up. Time was up, and some had finished. Just as Big Zhuang was about to sprint, Mo turned around, causing Big Zhuang to step on a corpse's arm. Just before dying, he was suspended in midair, saved by a young foreign man. With 3 seconds left, they jumped as the puppet turned, just crossing the finish line and surviving. Of the original 456 contestants, only 20 remained. For the large prize, the survivors started the next challenge. A woman broke a cookie and was shot in the head during the game, carved sugar cookie. Damaging the shape results in death. Before the game, everyone must select a pattern. Segment 3. As everyone appeared confused, the female thief suddenly had an idea. In her childhood, there was a game called carved sugar cookie. The simpler the pattern, the easier it was to extract the shape. He and she chose a triangle as suggested. Contestants selected their shapes. When the rules were revealed, Big Zhuang shivered. If he couldn't finish in time, he'd be shot. The female thief, hiding nearby, cleverly used a lighter to heat a needle and melt the maltose along the lines. The triangle was successfully extracted as expected. Noticing some had finished, Big Zhuang didn't relax. As he sweated, a drop fell on the cookie, making it transparent. Big Zhuang had a brainwave and licked the cookies back 48 times, making it thin and soft. This move inspired imitation, and they successfully extracted the pattern in time. Those who failed were doomed. Guards shot them. The second round, carved sugar cookie, ended. Next was the third round, a deadly tug of war. The losing side would fall off a high platform, crushed by a falling guillotine. As the match began, the strong men used only 80% of their strength to pull their opponents off the platform. The back row was scared, particularly Big Zhuang's group, who were old, weak, and sick. Facing death, only one old man stayed calm. He claimed to be a tug-of-war expert since childhood and urged others to follow him. Segment 5. He promised they'd win the championship. The old man struggled to stand and spoke with difficulty. The team members impatiently told him to be quiet. Big Zhuang had a different view. As the saying goes, an elder at home is a treasure. With nothing to lose, they opted to try the old man's strategy. He chose a front man and had teammates stand crosswise, clamping the rope under their armpits. Under the old man's meticulous planning, the strategy was flawless. The match began, and they leaned back to stabilize their stance. Despite the strong men's efforts, the rope didn't budge. As the opponents tired, the strong slipped, allowing the old and weak team to seize the moment and pull with all their might. As the strong men neared the cliff, they refused to give up. With a roar from their captain, their strength surged. Segment 6. They pulled the rope back together. At this crucial moment, the old and weak team suddenly released it. As the strong men fell, they gathered their strength and pulled them into the abyss together. The guillotine fell, and the weak team triumphed. The exhausted onlookers sighed in relief.